Hello, everybody. We are those guys you hate.
Welcome to the show that encourages you to be your best self by not being like us.
My brother and I hopelessly search for nuance as we wade through wacky segments and crazy conversations.
If you can withstand the insanity, you might actually learn something.
Tyler, what are you going to be discussing on this week's show?
Ryan, on this week's episode, very much like a car crash that I cannot seem to look away from, even though I am horrified, we are going to discuss Kanye West yet again. And after the debut of Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina candle, the question must now be asked, is there anything we're not making to smell or taste like vaginas? More on that later.
I'm intrigued.
What about you, Ryan?
The vagina thing is a slippery slope, Tyler. This week, I was uncommonly affected by something here on the show, and I want to discuss it and conquering your fears by taking one step at a time. Cliche, but real. So, let's do it. Tyler, you used to be fat.
I did. I
Yes.
did. I was fat for my body type.
Sure. I mean, you were never obese or really heavy. You probably thought it was way worse than everybody else did.
Oh, definitely.
But the reason that I bring it up so abrasively is for content and also because are we now at a point where we are just beyond commenting on people's weight? What's the right way to discuss somebody's weight in terms of, I had a situation very recently where I complimented somebody on their weight. I saw somebody who had very obviously lost weight. You know Nick's wife, Jamie, the woman I married?
Of course.
I want to be on the show.
She has recently had a baby. I saw her very recently. She had very obviously lost a lot of weight. I complimented her on it, and she was less than pleased. Not that she was mad about it or whatever, but she just, I don't know, didn't particularly want to talk about it.
Sure.
So my question is, I thought I was being nice. Are we now at a point where we just aren't even discussing people's weight? You don't even compliment them anymore.
Well, that is a very anecdotal example. So, because you had one exchange with this person, and now you're talking about everybody. I think it's a topic that needs to be discussed carefully.
Okay.
Because it can come off as insulting. Because I think a lot of people with their insecurities, you're like, wow, you lost a lot of weight. Oh, so you did think I was fat back then.
My son had that exact same thing. It's not just this one situation. RJ was complimented on losing weight in a way that bothered him. Now, I am somebody who's never struggled with weight in those terms. I've always been too skinny. Nobody talks about that a lot, but when you're growing up in a high school and you want to be tough or whatever the deal is, it's a bummer. But I will admit, it doesn't carry that same social baggage that being heavy does.
Absolutely. I think that one that you're describing about being too small or skinny is definitely worth the conversation, but it's overshadowed by the fat conversation.
For sure.
Because of how taboo discussing somebody's weight is. Like, it'll get you crushed in culture if you're caught as making fun of somebody's weight.
But when did that happen?
Recently.
When did that fat shaming thing? We used to have a good old jolly belly shake and laugh, and now all of a sudden, what's next? Bald people? I can't make fun of bald people.
I think it's a universal.
What if I like the word midget?
That's my thing.
I'm just kidding.
I think that it's a cultural thing, but I think it's a universal. We shouldn't be making fun of people's looks. It's not their. Well, I don't want to say it's not their choice, because weight, we definitely have a deciding factor in there.
But to varying degrees.
Absolutely.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. Don't make fun of somebody's look.
And
there's plenty of reasons to make fun of people.
I think that is healthy because, like you said, some people are very sensitive about it. Some people can't control it. And so maybe I know that I'm wandering into this realm seeming like I'm joking around, but I really mean it. When I like to take care of myself. I feel like when I compliment somebody about taking care of themselves, that they take it as oh, wow, that's really nice of this guy to say it. And maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe I should pull it back.
I think it depends on how you approach it, because I think if you say, wow, not you, I just mean in general, oh, wow, you used to be really fat, but now you're skinny, good job. Or it's like, hey, I can tell you're really taking care of yourself. Good job. Those are two totally different comments.
That's what I tried to do. And I asked her, how have you been losing your weight like this? And she's like, I don't know. And just, I don't know. The whole vibe was not exactly what I wanted. Hey, sorry about that.
Hey, you want to throw that compliment over Big Tyler's way? I'll be happy to compliment you on it.
I know her husband listens to this, so it'll definitely get back to her.
Oh, good.
Whenever you're ready to apologize, just call me.
Then
now,
you can finally be on the show.
Please tell me very quickly before we move on the story of that one time when you and I were at a work convention. Just please tell the people, because it's. I don't think that people understand what they're doing when they say stuff like this.
Well, the timeline is I used to be skinny, then I got super fat, then I got skinny again.
Wait.
And that's where I am.
Do you remember when I had a segment very cruelly called Ask a Fat Guy? Do you recall that?
No.
I just tried it once and it went over like a wet fart. So I never did it again, but can I just play it just for my own fun here?
Sure.
While you tell this story?
Sure.
I appreciate you being so understanding. So what were you saying?
Those are the chips on top of the hot dog we were talking about earlier. They're delicious.
Is this a recording of the quesadilla theft? All right, so what were you saying?
What was I saying?
You were telling the story at the convention.
I was skinny, then I got fat, and then I was skinny. This is during the fat phase, and Ryan and I went to a convention for our work that you'll never hear about.
We don't have it. It's a job we don't have.
And we went, and this woman that I had known for many years through these business dealings, had not seen me since I gained all that weight. And when she laid eyes on me,
Sure.
her eyes widened like dinner plates. She pointed to my face the way the Mickey Mouse at Disneyland will with her whole hand.
Boy.
The whole hand
She only had 4 fingers. It was weird.
pointing directly at my face, then dropped her hand, bringing it back up in order to motion at all of me.
All of it.
And exclaimed with surprise, "What happened?" That was it. What happened?
And she was not a svelte lady herself. I don't want to.
That doesn't matter.
I'm with Lewis on this.
That doesn't matter.
I don't want to go after her. I'm just saying that it's not like, somebody who's coming from the peak of perfection. Why would somebody say that? It was so mean.
hurt people, Ryan.
I see. And if you want to hear more of hurt people hurting people, my name is Ryan.
And it really hurts, and my name is Tyler.
And we are those guys you hurt. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, your supreme edgelord, and his brother, whatever your name is, Tyler.
Oh.
How are you doing, you son of a bitch?
I'm good. You keep saying edging. I don't know if that word means what you think it means.
Do you know what edgelord means? I had to look it up.
Edgelord, isn't that somebody who likes to take things directly to the edge, go as far and extreme as possible with content and shock value stuff?
I thought that it had a sexual connotation to it. And
it does in my mind.
I'm
but
bringing it back. We're taking it for ourselves, Tyler. So welcome to another episode. And Tyler, let's just get right into it. I have discovered the world ender. I have discovered the one thing that is universal that could happen to you that will devastate you, take away all your credibility, and make everybody point and laugh and send you off to a leper colony. Do you know what it is?
It's called high school, Ryan.
It's called high school. Your pimples make you just terrible to gaze upon.
What is it? What? Tell me this horrific thing.
I think that you're going to immediately be like, oh, that's ridiculous. But as it sinks in, you're going to be like, that is terrible. Mm-hmm. The world ender that I speak of is the unrequited fist bump, Tyler. The unrequited high five, the unrequited handshake. But for some reason, the fist bump to me just left up there dangling in the wind.
Yeah.
It'll shrivel you up like a prune. Why is that? Why is that? It's just a faux pas. It's very often the person on the other side just didn't see you. They're not trying to stiff you, but it'll kill you, Tyler.
It's a moment of vulnerability.
It'll kill you.
You have gone 50% of the way, and this other person has not entered the transaction. And to go 100% of the way is called assault.
Well, you just shake your own hand.
Exactly.
And I think you're fine.
You got to play it off. So give a self-high five. You give a little clap above the head.
There's an NBA player who has been caught doing that like 10 different times.
I've seen that.
I don't know who he is.
That poor man.
Double his salary because I don't know if he's any good at basketball, but it's funny as hell.
And he plays it off really well.
Really funny. I'm wondering at this point if he's just doing it on purpose because it's how he's gathering fame. We can reveal.
Pretty good.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this man. Now,
what?
I wish I understood the psychology of why an unrequited handshake is. It'll just double you over. It'll kill you. I'm not sure what it is about that in particular. Is there, I guess anything along that realm can happen to you. I guess just with that one, it's physical so everybody could see it.
But it's also a feeling of rejection.
Sure.
Even if you know this person did it on accident, you're still getting rejected.
That's the point that I'm making.
Yeah.
You know, in that moment, this guy doesn't hate me. He just
Sure.
didn't see me.
Sure.
You're worried about everybody else.
Yeah, there's an embarrassment factor
You got
to
your
it.
little T-Rex hand like, oh.
Take my strong
Oh,
hand.
I hold it like this. This is how I walk.
Yeah, but I think there's a sense of, I don't know if loss is too strong of a word, but there's a feeling of like, oh, this person doesn't want to embrace me.
I think just rejection is exactly what you're talking
yeah,
about.
yeah, exactly.
It happened to me this week at the gym. And honestly, I know this is where we go back to on the show all the time, but I learned something about myself from it.
And that is?
I'm never going back to the gym.
Oh, you poor man.
I don't give a shit.
You poor man.
Anything for my ego, Tyler. This is the Depression Index, ladies and gentlemen. And what the Depression Index is a machine that I built with my unrequited hand. And we crank it up every week to let you know how down we are. Tyler, how has your mental health been this week?
I
man?
got to tell you, I am really glad we came into Depression Index because what you just hit me with was depressing as shit.
I need to go. I'll do one of those workouts with the rocks outside. I don't give a shit. I will never go back to that place.
You should get into Pilates. It'll
I'll
make
burn
you
it
feel
down,
better.
Tyler.
Ryan, my theme for Depression Index session 146 is the flow of life. So very often, these ailments that are growing throughout the populace by the day, seemingly, primarily depression and anxiety. You heard of them, Ryan?
Yes.
Our good friends, depression
Sure.
and or anxiety.
Sure, yeah, I've had them stay for a little while. No big deal.
Well, so often these states are caused not by the negative things happening in our lives, but by our resistance to those things.
You ain't wrong about that, brother.
I had a conversation yesterday where with my buddy, well, I probably shouldn't say his name, and we were having a conversation where he said that back in the day when he was younger, he used to be a drinker. And he and I were having the conversation.
Same, brother.
Exactly. Same exact thing. And he said, when I hit 21 years old, I immediately, right out of the gate, got a DUI. And it felt like the end of my world.
Yeah.
It seemed like my life was ending.
Like your future has been thrown away.
Absolutely.
Yep.
And he was at college, away at college, and he even said, now I can look back on that, and what a blessing it was. It brought me back home because, like I said, he was away at college. It got him closer to his family. It got him to stop drinking as much. He admitted he became a big pothead. Healthier choice, ladies and gentlemen.
Even worse. The devil's lettuce. He's burning himself, Tyler.
And these things that can seem so unbelievably terrible in the moment might just so happen to work out for us in the end. And even if they don't, the resistance that we put up to them only makes matters worse. So remember to breathe and just and surrender to the moment, as shitty as it might feel.
Well, you and I have talked off mic a lot recently about energy work. And please, I mean, forgive me. I know how...
You can fast forward if you like, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, I certainly will when we listen back to it. I find that when somebody comes up to me and I react to it, it's not that this person is doing something that I don't like. I'm putting my shields up before I don't want that person's energy. I'm staying away from it when really, like what you're describing is, your resistance to this person is causing you a problem, not this person themselves. Your stories and your thoughts and the way that your body is reacting to the thought of this person is really what's at the heart of your problem right now.
Absolutely.
So I think that's a really great little fact. And also, I'm sorry for doing that to you, audience. I'm feeling very vulnerable.
And I assume this is the point you landed on when you fast forwarded. So I'm just going to go ahead
And we're back.
I'm going to go ahead and say, Ryan, I'm doing much better this week.
I can hear it.
I am at a motherfucking 4.
Spin that
1,
wheel,
2, 3, and 4.
Oh!
I'm going to have to start using this other hand.
That's... Oh, yes, you are. That is great, Tyler. As your supreme edgelord, I am...
Please stop saying that.
It's not sexual, Tyler.
I know,
it's not sexual.
But when you say it, it sounds sexual.
But man, I cannot wait to bust, Tyler. It is hurting.
Ew.
You know who it is.
Go ahead.
All right, Tyler, gay it up. Tyler, I hate to do this, but You know how I know I'm better than you?
How, Ryan?
I'm reading the Bible, Tyler.
Yeah, and you're letting everybody know about it.
Well, not anymore. Unfortunately,
That's
I'm surrounded
true.
by those stupid fences, but I do stand on a chair from time to time. Now, here's my point of bringing it up. I'm reading the Bible. Tyler, the Bible, kind of long. I don't know if you're familiar with it. Quite the undertaking. And
It is.
something else that you're probably not familiar with, kind of boring.
Yeah.
It's a little boring.
Yeah, aren't there parts of the Bible where they literally get into like the how much grains you should have and like the different like aspects of how
Cubits, Tyler.
Cubits,
You
thank
need
you.
cubits and cubits of grain.
Good God, man.
If you don't have it, you're going to hell.
No.
That's basically what I've taken from it.
Oh shit, I should get myself some cubits.
Here is my point. When you are starting something like that, it seems insurmountable. It seems impossible. And I think very often we charge ourselves with too much. So what I started doing was, generally speaking, 1 page at a time. And I am damn near finished. I am really close to being finished.
Do you ever find yourself at the end of a page and you're like, man, I really want to keep going?
Not if I'm being totally honest.
Please.
Not particularly.
Sure.
I'm just trying to take in this information because not just out of spirituality or religion or whatever, it is the cornerstone of so many things. You would be shocked at how many things in the normal parlance comes from the Bible. All these sayings, all of these different things. Nonetheless.
Sure. It's been around quite a while, Ryan.
So you just chip away at these big giant things. Spotify. Heard of it?
I have.
I've had it for 15 years or something like that. And I have this one list of catch-all songs that I just take like Pokemon. If I hear something I kind of like, I throw it on that list. Maybe later on I don't like it and I never listen to it. With all that being said, I never erase it. I just leave it there.
I have a list like that. It's called Everything.
Exactly.
I just call it Everything and throw everything in there.
Now, here's the thing. I've always wanted to edit that list, but it's just too much. I'm telling you, there's over 1,000 songs on that list. It is weeks worth of music.
Sure.
So what I started doing is at the top, every time I go to the gym, I'm just going straight down. And now they have a feature where you can remove it from the list, like right there.
Like as it's playing.
They didn't have that before.
Yeah.
So that's how the catch-all happened.
You actually used to bemoan that specific lack of feature. You're like, why can't I just take this song out of the playlist as it's playing?
I have great ideas that I never act on, Tyler. And finally,
Spotify, you owe him money.
somebody else does it, and then I feel like shit. Okay? Thank you for bringing that up. So the point is, here and amidst my ramblings, hopefully I'm using this in a way I'm going through it and I'm knocking these things out, and it's fun. What's cool about that is you listen through your music in that order, you remember the time when you put that song on. So nonetheless, big undertakings, small increments. You can do amazing things if you just allow yourself to start. I know it's a cliche. I know everybody throws it around. Also, things generally become cliches because they're true.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a metaphor or an example, whatever the word for it is, that I've said on the show before that I actually heard from Joe Rogan, as a matter of fact, which is if you have two ships that are next to each other, parallel to each other, and one ship corrects its course by a single degree, at first there's barely any change. But a month from now, a year from now, they are miles apart.
You're 100% right. And I think it then lends to this idea of life is a video game. You can level up here on Earth. I was having lower back issues, a couple months ago from all the strenuous stuff that I do. I implemented into my workout every single day that lower back raise. Gone, man. Level up. That's how we do it. This week, I am at a 3, baby. 2, 3.
Always got to one-up me, but it's not a
way
competition.
worse than that, but I can't let you win.
Jeez, you're not playing this right then. You need to sacrifice your fingers to the machine. It wants blood, Ryan.
Now I'm at a 2, Tyler.
Oh, you mean fingers? Ryan.
Yo.
Kanye West. You heard of him?
Yeah, at this point, I don't know whatever this new information that you're about.
Really?
I don't think so.
Oh, I'm so excited to tell you.
I'm not totally sure what it is, but I parts of me feel bad for anybody who would just get crushed by society for such a long period of time.
Absolutely. We did it to Britney Spears for many years.
Oh, that bitch deserved it. I'm sorry. I'm just being outrageous.
Good God, man.
I'm just being outrageous. I love you, Britney. Free the nipple or whatever.
Well, I find myself in a bit of a bind here. I find myself thinking, God, I wish I didn't have to hear about Kanye West all the freaking time. And then he ups the ante, and not only do I then want to hear about it, I feel obligated to discuss it on this show.
Well, I got to tell you, while feeling bad for everybody involved in this circumstance, and obviously he's brought a lot of this on himself, it is very interesting. It just really holds a mirror up to society and where we're going and what we hold to be important.
Yep. Well, Ryan, the arguably number one unwritten rule in pop culture is...
Don't walk over the pitcher's mound.
You and I play different games. You never go full Nazi, Ryan. You never go full Nazi.
Tila Tequila did it. She's fine.
Is she? Would you look at her and say she's doing well?
We can review. I think Tina Tequila is doing better than she ever did.
Who's Tina Tequila?
It's her sister.
Her alter ego?
Not as Nazi.
Yeah, he's gone full Nazi.
What do you mean he's gone full Nazi?
He said we shouldn't blame the Nazis so much.
Stop it.
He put on Twitter, we shouldn't blame the Nazis so much, love all. And he used the...
Is that a verbatim quote? We shouldn't blame the Nazis so much, love all?
It's something along those lines.
Okay, I just want to... that's a crazy statement.
And do you remember when we just discussed Ryalism, the religion Ryalism, back in the day? Does it ring a bell?
That's the Miami Heat culture, right?
The Miami Heat culture?
Yeah, Pat Ryalism. I'm sorry. I thought you'd get it and we'd just move on. That's on me. I apologize.
Ryalism, do you remember I showed you the icon of their religion and it was a Jewish Star of David with a swastika right in the center?
I vaguely remember.
He just posted that on Twitter. You can't just post that with zero context.
Did he at least mention the show?
Yes, you guys should go check them out. They're awesome.
I know that now's not a great time to be lined up with him, but I believe he has a couple followers. That could help us.
Moving on.
Yes.
He has been suspended from Twitter, obviously.
Wait a minute. I thought you couldn't be suspended from Twitter.
Elon Musk himself said, we are suspending ye from Twitter.
You got to keep those two guys apart.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot have them interacting right now.
Yeah. Yeah. So Kanye... Big oof to you, dog.
Why is he doing that?
I'm assuming that it is a mental breakdown in real time.
So he is being castigated for going anti-Semite, and he's like, you think that's anti-Semite? This is anti-Semite, but M-I-G-H-T.
Well, he wanted to go DEFCON 3, and then he upped it to...
We got to be at 5 now.
I think 5 is the worst one.
I think once you are, bemoaning the foul treatment of Nazis, I think that's DEFCON 6, man. You've reached a level that even Nazis aren't saying. Nazis are like, okay, we're not that great, okay?
And that's another thing. He went on the Alex Jones show.
Why? What's going on with him?
Do you know Alex Jones?
Is he fine?
He put up so much pro-Nazi stuff, even Alex Jones was like, Kanye, trying to talk Kanye down off. Alex Jones was trying to talk Kanye down off a ledge. That's how crazy this guy has gotten.
So all we need is one more, and we have the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, Tyler. Who else? Who else can we invite to this party?
It says Ye24, the tweet, love everyone, #love speech, and then posted up the Nazi symbol with a Star of David around it. It's
all right. You know what? I'm just going to say it. His publicist, not doing a great job. Not doing a great job.
You have to imagine in the back room, much like when R. Kelly was doing his interview, his publicist would just pop in volume like Tic Tacs. Like, well, we're fucked.
Yep. I no longer want to hear ye.
And that, Ryan, that's pretty good.
Thank you.
Is oof.
All right, Tyler. On this tail end of the first half, and I use those words on purpose. Nicole, my girlfriend, Venezuela. Grew up there.
Quesadillas.
It's
eating me away inside, Ryan. It's killing me.
Please stop bringing that up.
I need to speak on my crimes. I feel so guilty.
We asked him about it. He just couldn't stop talking. I mean, for hours. So she very often brings up to me the differences between growing up in America, where, listen, we've got our problems here, but it's not a third world country yet. So she grew up in very different circumstances, of course. She grew up in a very small village in the countryside of Venezuela. Something that she has said to me that she is shocked by, that people don't talk about here, is twice a year in Venezuela, people will commonly get dewormed. What do you know about deworming, Tyler?
It sounds like you live in a place infested with parasites, and you have to have them removed twice a year, much like an oil change.
You are not wrong, but here's what you've got to understand is everywhere is a place involved with parasites. It is a lot more common for people to have worms than you would think. And do you know how you can get worms, Tyler? I mean, there's a myriad of ways.
Poopy?
Eating butt, Tyler.
Yeah.
And forgive me, I know that teachers play this for kids. Oh, excuse me, analingus. Is that better?
I'm not sure.
I'm not sure either.
I don't think so.
Kids, ask your parents if it's okay to say analingus.
Don't do that. Don't
So,
do that.
Apparently, it can, represent itself in many ways, and I know it's kind of gross, and sure, you can have worms in your poop. Nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's something that I'll say that somebody listening to this right now has worms and they need to be dewormed. It could be me.
What is deworming? Like, what? Do you know the process?
I think it's just a pill we can review, but I do feel like it's something that probably would be good for you. I think it's something that we could probably all use. A deworming.
Sure. So are they just eating a lot of butt over in Venezuela?
I do believe that there's some hygiene situations that are different than over here.
Sure.
I don't think that's unfair to guess. And they're probably eating some butt over there.
Also eating butt.
It's a Latin culture, Tyler.
That is true, and they do love to show love.
Sure.
From one side of the body to the other.
Extra parking in the rear.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. What's going on, everybody? Ryan Menendez here. Now, I know that you're such a fan of this podcast, you already know it, but part of this advertising is me explaining shit to you that you already know. Buckle up! So much of this podcast is based on me being a total kook. Now, a bunch of people have reached out to me, and they have let me know that they want to be a kook too. Now, this isn't something that you just stumble on. It doesn't happen by accident. You gotta put in practice. 10,000 hours, am I right? So what you need to do is read the books that I read. Now, what we've done is we have signed up to work with Audible so you can read the books to become a kook like me. THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com. Now, here's what Audible wants. They want for you to go over there and get a free book that I'm offering you so you can read, you could get on board, you could sink below the waters and end up in the same place that I am. And what they're hoping is that you'll get that free book, you'll sign up, and then you'll forget to unsign up, and then they can charge you at least once, okay? You know it, I know it, we all know it. Beat the system by breaking that contract before that happens, or stay with them and continue to learn and grow and flourish like a big boy. So if you go to THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com right now, all of my reading recommendations are there. You could sign up and get the book for free, and then you have 30 days to cancel your membership, and you don't get beat on the deal. You know you won't because you're lazy. That's why you haven't moved out of your parents' house. We love you. Thank you for supporting Those Guys You Hate, and let's get back to the show.
Those guys.
Okay, I think that somebody is breaking into my house and putting pubic hair into my bar of soap. True crime? Is that true crime?
Why would anyone do that?
I don't get it.
You hate.
I'm looking at these hairs and I'm like, I don't know these hairs. True crime. That's definitely true crime.
That is not true crime.
Whatever, you don't know what true crime is.
Those guys, those guys, those guys, those guys, those guys, those guys.
Red circle.
I don't like the way that you answered that.
Red circle. I had no response.
I can only confront you and be confrontational on air.
That is so not true.
It is true.
Not true.
I'm known for just getting along, Tyler.
You can.
Sure.
You can. You're in there. You get
When I
it.
feel like it. All right, Tyler, I asked you before we started this to do something for me, and I'm now calling in a favor, okay? There's something that happened on this show that I'm always doing a thing. I'm always, pulling a gag. And I am here too, but in a way, this is 100% real. There's something that you played 2 weeks ago that I just can't stop thinking about. I didn't even want to make this Ryan's Volta sound because it's so pornographic. It's so deeply disturbing that I don't want to associate myself with it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I got my finger on the button ready for you, buddy.
Sure, but I'm talking about the sound.
Yeah, my so good and so tasty sound.
Can I please hear it for the people who are listening? Because this has been, I'm wondering why you did this to me.
Oh, God, it's so good. So good. So good and tasty.
The way that it builds in crescendos in just, audio sewage. I hate it. I don't want that. That is banned, Tyler. A first time banning from the show.
There is no chance.
I don't like that.
No chance. And it's the great mystery of our time. I would like to know what they're eating because it sounds delicious.
I'm hoping, I don't know why, but I'm picturing just that nacho cheese from the movie theater. Like he's just putting handfuls of it
That's pretty good.
into his mouth,
That's pretty
right?
good,
I don't know
yeah.
if it's from the sound quality or what, but that's what I've been doing this whole time.
He is eating like a gremlin, that's for sure.
If anybody out there knows what that is from, please tell us. I will sneak into the Library of Congress and burn whatever made that noise.
You're just on a burning rampage
We're
today.
burning something, Tyler.
You've threatened to burn a few things today.
I know that this doesn't apply here, but I don't know.
What is this?
This is You Got Mail.
Yeah, but why are you playing it? Do you have mail for me?
I don't have mail for you, Tyler.
Okay. All right, good.
I just feel like whenever we have a shot to use that sound effect, we should do it.
Sure. Well, the thing is I have a You've Got Mail for you. Are you keyed up on the Gmail, ready to open the file?
I am right now. Mm-hmm. So tell people what You Got Mail is.
Well, You Got Mail is when we find something interesting on the internet. We want to show it to each other, but we surprise the other person on the show. So Ryan is going to go into his Gmail account, and he is going to open the message when I tell him to.
I've got it open, but I have not seen it.
Good. And this is a big, big moment, Ryan, simply because I have the very first fan-submitted sounder for our show. Someone took time out of their life to create for this show.
I don't like it.
What?
I don't like it because...
I thought you were going to be so excited.
No, because I guarantee that anybody who is listening to this show has not reached the artistic pinnacle that I have. You think I happened upon this? You think that you're going to accidentally, shoot something out your butt that's better than this? And while you're at it, paint another Mona Lisa, you asshole. Is she smiling? Who knows?
It's actually a man.
Oh.
Ryan.
What?
That's my fantasy. Ryan, I would like to play the new sounder for You've Got Mail.
Okay, let's hear the thing that I'm going to cancel. Wow, that is incredible.
Pretty good.
I think I know who have submitted that.
Oh, I bet you do.
Was that street producer Lenny?
No, it was
What?
No.
Of course I know who it was. That's
Oh.
Dr. Drucifer.
Oh, I thought you were going to be I thought you were genuinely guessing.
I guarantee that Lenny's voice does not do that.
That's fair.
You have my word.
That's fair.
There's nothing in that body that makes that noise. Wait, time out. I need to hear that again.
Sure.
Oh, man. That is incredible.
That is a great sounder.
It really hurts me to cancel it, but damn. Drucifer, great job, man.
That is from Dr. Drucifer, our pornospondent. Drucifer, thank you and welcome into the annals of Those Guys You Hate lore, buddy.
I love that.
It's great.
I would say that it's good no matter what, just because I know how deeply sensitive he is and he would fall apart.
I actually took it from you because he and I were talking and he said, I actually meant to send it to Ryan, but I don't think he would have liked it.
This is even better.
And I was like, all right, send it to me. And I played it. I'm like, this is it. This is mine.
I love it.
This is amazing.
Now we're just
Ryan,
going to figure out what to do with that cat's out.
if you will please open the email.
All right, I am getting swifty. Oh, wow. So what I'm looking at here is kettle chips made by a company called Haz, H-A-Z-Z.
Oh, no, they're missing the C. It's a Chaz.
Oh, Chaz.
The bag is turned.
I see exactly what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. Now, here is the thing. These chips are something I've never seen before, 18 plus adults only. Now, is that a joke?
Nope.
Okay. Well, and the reason why
they're considered adult chips. I don't know if you have to be 18 to buy them.
well, it says 18 plus adults only.
Sure. Can you read the flavor, please?
Because they're pussy flavored.
That
Tyler.
is correct, Ryan.
Now the second S is starred out, so maybe maybe they're pussy flavored.
Bit pushy.
Maybe they're pushy flavored. That's good.
These chips are so pushy.
I wish I had thought of an actual American word, but thank you, Tyler. So they're pussy flavored chips. Now, my question to you is, Tyler, would you try one?
Absolutely.
So would I.
I actually went looking for them, and
That was going to be my next question.
I can tell you definitively, Amazon does not carry them. I haven't gone to the more esoteric shopping channels, but Amazon does not carry them.
But they do carry from Hebrews to Negros.
Correct, Ryan.
Wow.
That's a good point.
Hey, Jeff Bezos, you're pussy flavored.
Well, he's not involved with the company anymore, I don't think. He stepped down many months ago.
What?
Yeah, he's not with Amazon anymore.
Jeff Bezos?
Yeah.
Well, you just rock my pussy flavored world, Tyler.
Yeah, it's a Lithuanian chip company has made pussy flavored chips. They say on their website that they actually took the process of getting the flavor just right very seriously.
Oh, wait a minute, though. I don't want to go lowest common denominator here,
I mean, you kind of have to on this
but
one.
every pussy is not created equally. There
That's
is
true.
no such thing as pussy flavored because
But I think we can all
we've all
agree
had
on
a sour pussy here and there. I'm sorry to say it, but you know what I'm talking about.
I think that it's the general consensus on what vagina tastes like.
The genital consensus.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't think that is a real thing, but nonetheless, that's fine.
I'm hoping
that's
I
like saying the average thumbprint.
What?
They're all
That's not true. It's flavor. It's like talking. I'm not doing this on purpose. I swear, but
it's hard to talk about this.
I swear I'm not doing this for the joke. I mean it legitimately. It's like talking about the flavor of fish. Different fish taste.
All right, Tyler, grow
I'm being
up.
serious. Different fish taste different ways, but I think everybody knows what the smell of fishiness is.
That's a whole different meaning of chicken of the sea.
Are you going to respond to what I said? Or
But like cunt, though. Yeah, I agree with you, but what you're talking about is almost all apples taste like apples. I don't think the same is true for people.
Write into us at THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com and tell us, do you think that there's a general consensus on vagina taste?
Describe to us what your pussy tastes like, and we'll compare them to each other. Does it work like that? Is this the wrong time to say flowchart?
Whatever you and your harem get up to, that's fine with you.
Let's do GBI. Sorry about
all of that.
Yeah.
Yes, Ryan.
Yes.
Good, bad, and the interesting. Tell them what good, bad, and the interesting is.
It is where Tyler takes a good story, a bad story, and somewhere in between we find an interesting story. He talks about it. We throw it back and forth. We have a little fun.
That's
Catch you up to
perfect.
date with what's going on in the world.
Let's just jump right into our good, Ryan.
Let's get it.
Pew, 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 pew.
I like that.
Ryan, I thought I would keep our good this week simple. A circumstance that any of us could happen into, and I wanted to remind people out there that the world is filled with good, honest people. Joseph Cook of St. Augustine, Florida. We finally get to talk about a Florida man in good light. He was using his metal detector on the beach when he found a platinum ring with a diamond on it, Ryan. Not a diamond, a diamond.
Like that bitch from Titanic.
First of all, I don't know why you made her a bitch.
She knows what she did.
Second of all, yeah, that hussy that let herself get painted nude. God.
That is exactly right.
A gigantic diamond on it, and he took it immediately to get appraised and found that it was worth $40,000.
That's incredible. The platinum itself is super expensive, right? And then you throw a rock on there?
I've never even considered the worth of platinum. I don't think I enter into those type of citizen levels.
When
of
I hear
wealth.
platinum, I think of expensive.
He immediately went in search of the rightful owners and found them.
Okay.
2 weeks later, he kept receiving a call after posting up on social media, after going to local jewelry shops to try to find these people. 2 weeks later, he kept receiving a phone call from a number he did not recognize, and it turns out it was the rightful owners. They messaged him not only with voicemails, but photos of the woman wearing the ring.
How did these people know that he had it?
because he was going around not only on social media, but all these shops. That's okay. Now, this is a quote by Mr. Cook in which he says, "I really wasn't disappointed that I had to return it. Karma's always good. Every time I return an item, I find something better, so I'm happy I could give it back." As if the universe wanted to prove him right, he immediately found another diamond ring after connecting with the owners of the first diamond ring.
This man needs to be investigated. I'm sorry. Let's flip on over to a bad Tyler.
He's burying the ring and, oh, look what I found.
There's just so many things falling off the back of trucks in this story. No, you know what, Tyler? I'm going back to the idea that there are things on this planet that we can't take in, that there are things bigger than us that we just don't understand. I believe that is one of them. And that's
like tethers almost. We're all connected to these little tethers everywhere.
There's ways, in my opinion, I can't prove this scientifically, there are ways that the world works that we just don't understand.
Oh, for sure.
And I believe that is not proof. I think that's kind of, like you said, anecdotal evidence, but
Sure.
I believe in that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And I think there's a lot of evidence, a lot of examples out there of this, both good like this and really bad.
And whether this guy gets a monetary prize at the end or not, there is obviously a value to knowing that you did the right thing. For each one of us, that is set at a different level.
I mean, you kind of have to think that the person would reward him in some way, or at least attempt to, right? Like if somebody returns a $40,000 ring, I'm going to do something for you.
That is why you tie a string to it, you wait it out, and you give it the old yankaroonie, Tyler.
Back in my day, we used dollar bills. You're using platinum rings?
Back in my day, we put a mirror on our shoe. I don't know what your point is.
What's sexual assault in there? Why? Why?
You know, I never really thought about it like that.
Please do.
Sorry about that. I'm going to go back to that nursing home and apologize.
After that bad, let's move into our bad.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
I got to stop admitting to crimes on this show.
You really do.
Yeah,
I don't want to
about
be
that.
privy to these
Yes,
things.
I understand.
Well, Ryan, we discuss unions and workers' rights on here all the time. Or at least I scream them at you as you shrink into your chair amid the onslaught.
Well, you've explained it to me. I have avoided that kind of information throughout my life because I don't like all of the business stuff, but you've explained it to me well over the last couple of weeks.
Well, I'm going to force it on you, Ryan.
Okay, I'll put on my bib.
Well, strap it on.
Strap what on?
Your bib.
Okay.
We're doing it again. Have you heard anything about the railway union strike?
Railway union strike. So I'm assuming it's people who work on the railroad.
Correct.
And they are saying that they're not being treated properly or
Correct.
not being paid enough. So they're ceasing work.
Exactly.
Okay.
That's exactly right. Well, for those who may not know, apparently, railroad work is fucking difficult.
And very important. It's like the blood work of our country.
Easily.
Yeah.
Especially not just transportation as a whole, but especially the railways. We primarily get the majority of our goods across the country on the railways.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, also the problems going on with like truckers, how we're losing our truckers and it's affecting us deeply.
Exactly. Well, the 4 major railroad worker unions threaten to go on strike for better conditions.
Okay, you have Reading Railroad. You have what was the other one? B&O. Do I have that right?
Go on.
I can't remember the other two.
Sure. You nailed that.
Monopoly, Tyler. Remember it? There's 4 of them. You're right. I shouldn't have wasted our time. So tell me what happened.
Our ability to have these serious conversations never ceases to
We're
astound
getting
me.
good. I think we're getting good at this.
The railroad corporations have fought tooth and nail to keep anything beneficial for the workers from happening. Not just to keep the strike from happening, but also to keep the workers from gaining any ground. Now, there is obviously a lot of different aspects to these dealings, but do you know one of the main things the workers were fighting for?
I would imagine, by the way you asked that question, that it's going to be something totally reasonable.
7 days paid sick leave, Ryan.
7
1 week
days.
out of the entire fucking year.
Yeah.
Give us 1 week of paid sick leave.
But what if, and hear me out, the person on the other side says, no, I have the power.
I'm glad you said that.
Sure.
Because they did.
What?
Yeah.
Wow, we are living in like an alternate universe, aren't we?
And if something happens medically and you have to go to the doctor or the hospital, they would have to use unpaid time off for the appointment. the America's long history of union busting continues.
It sounds to me like you are trying to convince me that greed is a bad thing, Tyler, and you're just not going to get me to go. This country is based off capitalism, and if they, want to get sick, do it on your own time.
That's literally what they're saying. Are you a billionaire and you just haven't told me?
Tyler, how many monocles do I need to wear?
I can only send out so many signals.
You fool.
And
No, it's crazy and it's ugly and it will be the undoing of all of us. It feels to me like this world is built, I say, for us to take care of each other. And we have chosen not to do that. And we're seeing breakdowns in every facet of society.
well, don't forget, make sure you say we've seen the breakdown from select groups.
Sure. Switzerland looks like they're doing okay.
They do look like they're doing okay.
fucking jerks.
Neutrality really seems to look good on them.
Yeah.
Interesting, Ryan.
Jimmy Neutral. Thank you.
And that right there is the closest I will ever get to being a DJ.
There you go. I feel like a reggae song is about to come on.
Well, Ryan, without ever having experienced it, I think you and I can both agree that a parent losing their child is one of the greatest pains a human can ever feel.
I mean, we've been pretty close to it.
Pretty close, but never in the position of the parent.
And may we never. Good God.
For sure. In the case of the Highsmiths, it was their 22-month-old daughter, Melissa, not even 2 years old yet, who was kidnapped from their home by a babysitter in 1971.
I feel almost like I've heard this, but please tell me more. So they left the baby with a babysitter. The baby was being babysitted. Mm-hmm. And
Babysat.
and while they were gone, the babysitter
Picked the baby up and walked out.
Stopped sitting at that point.
It was baby tooking.
Baby standard.
That's right. 51 years after her kidnapping, Melissa has been reunited with her family.
Wow.
They never stopped searching for her. They went to the FBI. They went on podcasts. They hired private investigators. They basically seemed to do anything and everything loving parents would do to find their missing child.
And just a disturbed, hurt parents. Yeah, it becomes, in a lot of people's circumstances, it becomes your life.
Yeah, and I can't even imagine, because when you lose a child, when they die, there is a sense of closure. With this, totally open-ended. No idea if they're alive or dead. No idea where they are. Absolutely nothing.
I love, and it's just a sign of the times where you said, they went to the FBI. They went to private investigators. They were on podcasts.
They were.
Podcast is doing some shit, man.
Growing by the day.
It's crazy.
Well, in the end, it was a hit from 23andMe. I mean, this is becoming a tale as old as time, Ryan.
This is a time for murderers to be very scared.
Very scared.
This
and good
is-
on them.
Well,
What?
I don't know. I'm not sweating. You're sweating, Tyler. No, it is crazy. It is the time for justice.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, man.
Well, Melissa's own children, the kidnapped woman, her own children were matched with the family that she never met.
That's incredible.
She received a message on Facebook from her father that read, "You know, I've been looking for my daughter for 51 years. Obviously, Melissa thought it was a scam.
Could you imagine reading that?
What an elaborate scam that would have been.
Sure. This is a prince. This guy's a friggin' prince.
If I just send him $10,000, he'll reunite me with my family.
Daddy!
After she learned the truth, she went to her kidnapper and asked, "Is there something you need to tell me?"
So wait a minute. This baby was so young, they didn't know that they were being taken.
She was 22 months old. She didn't have any
that's right.
memories.
I forgot about
She was
that.
a baby.
Yeah, so
So she grew up thinking her kidnapper was her mother this entire time.
so the kidnapper then responded by saying,
Giving herself up, she admitted to the entire thing.
"Wow, that's crazy."
It was
and this
confirmed by
happened
her.
recently.
After agreeing to a DNA test herself, Melissa was reunited with her real family on Thanksgiving. It's like a week ago.
That's beautiful. You know what this makes me think of? And I think I have this name right. Casey Dugard. She's a woman who was kidnapped when she was like 7 or 8. Her, abductors had her for such a long time and brainwashed her that they could leave her home alone. Like, she literally forgot that she was like being kidnapped. And I don't recall exactly what it was, but like 15 years later or something like that, she just wandered out and the whole thing fell apart. We can review because I find that to be so interesting. What the human mind can do to adapt to a situation. You know what I mean?
You kind of have to. You're like forced into the situation. It's this or lose my mind.
It's like the girl in the box that they kept under the bed.
Ah, you keep bringing that up.
There's something sexy about that.
And that, Ryan, is GBI?
My sexual proclivities are interesting, I would say.
I would say they're terrifying.
Oh, Tyler, you have no idea.
I don't, nor do I want to.
You should ask the girl under the bed. Now, Tyler, great job, buddy. It's really good. Really good. You know what? Speaking on bad, very quickly, America out of the World Cup.
Yeah, I saw
America
that.
out of the World Cup.
Yeah.
I'm proud of our boys, though. I'm proud of our boys. They did a good job.
We made it to the top 16.
Sweet 16, baby. That's a step. Not that I'm a huge football fan, but I love to see us do well. It's fun. World Cup down here in Miami. Man, the passion that people show for it. I was in our Publix, our grocery store, and they had a TV set up in one of the middle aisles.
Really?
And people were watching it going crazy for it. The passion that people have been watching it with, for me, has been really beautiful. I actually really like it.
Yeah, I mean, there are countries around the world. USA, our soccer fandom is growing, but there are countries around the world, specifically South America, that take their soccer very seriously, and we are a central hub specifically for South Americans to come and visit. So we got a lot of those very passionate fans here.
And my take on it is it's a game that you can play while basically having nothing. You can't go outside and play a football game without a ref and a ball and a this and a that. You could be the poorest person from the poorest country, and if you could get a ball, you could play soccer. You could set up goals with whatever, and I think that's just something that's been going on for generations and generations and generations. It's the beautiful game, Tyler.
You need a ball? I can get you the ball.
You lay it a ball. Huh? Tyler, tell them how to get in touch with us.
THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com. I would like to see more messages coming through, guys, because I got one yesterday. It was an ad. No, I'm not interested.
Make us more segment music. All you listeners out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
do
go to
our
work for us.
For
Yeah,
sure.
that's
For
perfect.
Sure.
So THOSEGUYSYOUHATE.com. Click on the link. Subscribe. We need your help. And thank you for those who have helped us. We love you.
What is the moral of the story? Yes, and Dr. Drucifer, we love you, man. Thank you for being such a big part of the show.
You're the best.
What is the moral of the story, Tyler?
Finding patience for people that we just don't understand. As I watch this Kanye West thing unfold, I am hurt by his actions. I am saddened by his actions, but at the same time, there is a distinct sense of pity in myself that I feel for him.
I would like to think that if this whole thing were happening and he was going after Cuban people, or if he was going after, Scots-Irish people or whatever, those are my two main.
I was going to say.
Because what I'm saying is, obviously, for me, not to be where I want to go with this is, I feel some pity for him. And I feel like, this is somebody who is obviously in the throes of a mental problem, but also I'm not Jewish. So it's very easy to be like, oh, of course. I'm saying I believe that if this were happening to me directly, I would still feel the same way. I don't know, but I think so.
We can hope that would be the case, that we would behave that way.
For sure.
Ryan, what's the moral of the story?
Little tiny steps day after day make such a big thing. I remember as a kid growing up at like 16 years old and being like, I'd really love to play the guitar, but I'm just so old. Like by the time that I finally figured it out, I wouldn't care about it anymore. And that is 24 years ago. I'd be Eric fucking Clapton right now if I had stuck with it.
Whoa, lofty goals, my friend.
Sure. Also lost a child. And so what I'm saying
is true.
I believe that we are completely underselling what just 5 minutes a day can do for us. You don't have to do a big giant thing and become a slave to something to level up, to evolve in the video game that is life.
Well said.
We are those guys you hate.
Be kind or we'll kill you.
I finally got it, I think.
You nailed it. Red circle.
I mean, this is just going to be kind of off to the side. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even going to be on mic, but do you remember this?
Yo, yeah, that was, I do remember that.
Remember that?
We were doing that every couple of weeks.
Every other week instead of, that's when we first transitioned out of doing Week in Review every week.
Sure.
Because somebody thought they were smarter than us. You don't remember this one.
No, that one doesn't ring a bell.
Wait, listen. It was called Occupational Hazard, and it's when we were going to have that stripper on, and then she bailed on us, and I hated her ever since.
It's too bad we never followed up with a different occupation. Like, the sound is made. There are lots of occupations.
Tyler. It's
so many occupations.
We're starting with the oldest occupations first, and then we're working our way back.
That's prostitution, not stripping.
Tyler. Tomato. You sound like a fool.
No, that's not fair. Not all strippers are prostitutes.
You sound like
just
a fool.
the majority of them.
You sound like a fool. Anyway.
And the minority of them, too.
I won't get into all this. I'm just saying that we got some good stuff on here.
What you're doing to the audience is really unfair because they can barely hear this.
No, you're right, Tyler. And what you're saying is true. We owe it to the audience to do a show for them. But I think that I would like to be unfair to you, Tyler.
Oh, okay.
Now here's the thing. Mm-hmm. I try very often, and I know that I fail very often. I don't like to make the show too much about us. I don't like to be too myopic and just make it about the little comings and goings of our pathetic lives. Nobody gives a shit about that.
Ryan, that's literally the show.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so that I can go out there. I don't have it.
Yeah.
Welcome to
my voice cracked.
Those prepubescent guys you hate. All right, so I can make it about something that's just really about us and nobody's going to...
The show is so self-involved.
Is it
You
self-involved?
say it all the time. What are you talking about?
I don't
You've
recall
done a
that.
180.
I don't know that...
Oh, you're doing a thing. I got it.
Did you eat the quesadilla out of the refrigerator?
I did.
What
I thought it was... Oh, my God.
What happened, Tyler?
I feel so bad now.
I can't believe it.
It's been sitting there, and I thought it was dead food.
It was... Wow. Tyler, there is...
I have to get you a new one now.
I appreciate you coming clean, Tyler.
I came home drunk last night, and I just needed... I needed something in
I
my
was about to eat food because I'm uncomfortable. Well, don't worry. Don't worry.
I feel terrible.
Not a big deal.
Oh, it is a big deal.
Not a big deal.
I thought it was dead.
It was Nicole's.
Oh, man.
And it was from the night before.
And I'll even make it worse. I was actually staring at him like, I should text Ryan before I eat this. And I was like, he's at work. Fuck it. It's been sitting here forever. I'm just going to eat it. And then after eating it, I felt such anxiety and tricked myself into believing no one would have noticed.
Anxiety, Tyler.
I am going to get her the best fucking quesadilla I can get.
What I tried to do...
Oh, my goodness. I feel terrible.
And then, listen, your insecurity is making you talk a lot right now. What I wanted to do in the name of content is I tried to talk her into, I send her a text. She kicks open that door and she confronts her assailant, but she wouldn't do it. And she's like, oh, please don't make him uncomfortable. I'm like, have you ever listened to the show?
Going back to what you said, it's guilt, not insecurity, although I'm sure there is some insecurity creeping in.
I was shooting for shame, Tyler. That's what I was headed for.
And second of all, I'm going to go get her the most delicious quesadilla ever. Like, I feel genuine pain.
When your secret meals become an actual felony.
Fuck.
Here we are. So, Tyler... We're not brothers anymore. Just deal with it.
I'm sorry, Nicole.
She doesn't want to talk to you right now.
I get it.
Also, because she can't hear you, hopefully.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on because this has been beyond a bump in the road. We're in trouble now, Tyler.
Can I tell you something that makes me look even a little bit worse?
Absolutely.
There is a part of me that's glad that it was hers and not yours.
Tyler,
I was scared it was going to be yours.
If it was mine, there'd be no coming back. Now, did it have chips on it?
It did. What
was your... now, for people who are like, what did you just say? It's a Venezuelan fast food. These Venezuelans, they're wacky with their food.
They are.
They're culinary geniuses. They put things that I've never seen on other things. They make sandwiches that rival a turducken.
They do a pineapple sauce on their hot dogs, which is just ridiculous.
I'm unfamiliar. It's called a papito.
It's the same chips with some pineapple sauce and just a whole bunch of stuff you wouldn't think are on a hot dog. Delicious.
They make a burger, and I'm putting the air quotes there because it's not a burger anymore after you've added 7 more meats.
Yeah,
now,
that's fair.
It's a buffet line in between two pieces of bread, but it's ham, it's pork, it's incredible, and you can't eat it without looking like Bigfoot. You're just shoving it towards your face and hoping you get some in there.
Well, you never want to eat and have things fall away from your face because then you just look like a sloppy eater.
Sure.
And as you just alluded to, there is no way to eat that without that happening.
It's wider than your head. You're just kind of tunneling at that point. You're just working your way into the secret tunnel.
I'm going to eat my way through this, I swear.
I will Lady and the Tramp you in about 3 hours if you put in the same effort that I do.
We'll meet in the middle of diabetes.
MEAT. Now, Tyler, there's a guy at my gym. Again, don't want to be too myopic, don't want to be about me, but there's a guy at my gym that I know.
Wait, what?
That's it. That's the end of the story. No, but this guy, he's in good shape. He has an Olympics tattoo. He has the rings. What did those rings symbolize? I think if I have this right, it's like each of those rings has a color from every flag on Earth.
Oh, you're teaching me something brand new. We'd have to do a week in review because I've never heard that before.
Or I just made it up.
Yeah, although that is very interesting.
You've either become smarter or dumber. Something just happened.
You've learned something.
Yes. You've gained weight in some spiritual way. Now, my question is, when you see a guy with the Olympic rings in color on his shoulder, what do you assume?
He's an Olympian.
He has been to the Olympics. He competed in the Olympics.
Or he's some weird freak who watches too much Olympics. Like he's going back and watching like the 1992 Olympics. I don't know if that was the year the Olympics happened.
I believe it was in Atlanta, Tyler. I just threw that out there. Now, this to me is because he's just leaving it out there. Am I supposed to walk up to him and be like, hey, where are you in the Olympics? This is a step right underneath wearing military garb, which I would love to do. I look awesome in camouflage. I can't leave the house in camouflage because God forbid I steal someone's valor, Tyler. Grow up, you babies.
First of all, how can you know if you look good in camouflage? You immediately blend in with the background.
Doing that. It's like I'm doing a show with the internet.
It's so, ow.
Sorry.
Second of all,
that was below the belt.
Jeez, I'm trying to be goofy with you.
That was below the belt. There was no need for that.
That's what I get for eating quesadillas that aren't mine.
You piece of shit. You're a cat video, Tyler.
And I don't think I've ever seen you in camouflage before. That is definitely not your garb.
Okay, but you obviously cannot wear military clothing because think of all the free shit you could get, Tyler.
Oh my God. But then what if you get called out?
I believe is it against the law? I think
to impersonate, not to wear camouflage, but to impersonate a soldier, absolutely.
Stolen valor, I believe, is a real thing. Sure. And also, which I would love to do, I would love to just soak in those good vibes of people thanking me. I don't want to do anybody wrong. I mean, I'm just saying, you're spreading joy for people. Is that so bad?
Thank you for your service. Which service are you alluding to, ma'am?
I am a bartender. So I do work for T-Mobile. So, and also, it's a step below, again, throwing your own funeral, which I would love to do. Why are you guys going to finally say something nice about me when I can't hear it? Tell me now.
What are you talking about throwing your own funeral?
Like Huckleberry Finn. You have a funeral.
Wow, that's a dated reference.
What? Kids aren't whitewashing fences anymore, Tyler? Where you have a funeral for yourself and you hide in the air vent and just listen to everybody cry and talk about how good you were.
I cannot imagine a more egotistical move on planet Earth than doing something so immoral and abhorrent.
Tyler,
I'm genuinely offended by that idea.
In that case, I was just kidding. I didn't mean it, Tyler. I've told you that I listen to Dateline envious of the victims. I mean, what do you want from me?
Is that really a thing that happens?
What?
People who plan their own funerals to hear what others hear about them?
I can't imagine that that's real.
There's got to be a week in review we can do on that. I really want to know about that.
Tyler and I throw our own funeral. But unfortunately, we told people, so they're just nasty about it.
I was going to show. We just show up to our own funeral.
Sure. Ryan was a good man. All right, and finally, Tyler, I have something to add to a list. There's a list of things that we talk about all the time on this show. I very often say, as we talk about all the time, because we go back to the same well because it's just what we're interested in. When I talk about that there are things on this planet that people don't have the ability to witness because our senses are not as all-encompassing as us humans like to pretend they are. What is the list that we always go to? Because this happens a lot.
Forgive me, a list towards what? My brain got clogged there for a second.
When I say, we think of ourselves as being so observant, as us being such like perfect creatures, but really our senses, there's so many things on this planet that we can't interpret.
Yes. We immediately go to the whale's call, a blue whale's call, which is the loudest natural sound on Earth, but we humans are unable to hear it without the help of technology simply because the frequency is too low.
We're getting frequency. Okay, I don't want to make that joke.
It sounded like a good one.
Was it?
No.
Super frequency. How about that?
Too many syllables.
Sure. We'll come back to it. So that's a great one. And what this is in response to is often when we're talking about spirituality, when we're talking about you believing without evidence that something bigger than you is out there. We're just giving you examples of stuff that's actually proven. That here's one that everybody knows, that dogs can hear frequencies that you can't because they have different equipment than you. We have all these other things that we don't have to rely on our hearing the way that dogs do.
Absolutely. I mean, even the sand beneath our feet, there was a time when somebody started looking under the first microscope, there was literal criticism of what do you hope to expect by looking at these things that we step on.
That guy's a witch.
And you go down and you look at each individual grain of sand and they're all different pieces. They're all completely separate and different and we had no idea. And it was right there. What is on the other side of all these different things that we cannot perceive?
Well, and I'm sure, and I know I'm going full Men in Black here, but inside each one of those grains of sand is its own universe. There's such microscopic. Have you never seen that documentary Ant-Man? I don't have to do this for you. But I will tell you.
Release the technology to all.
Release the bees. Sorry, I'm getting too pumped up here. Now, I have another one that we can add to the list.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Did you know that the human body is, drumroll please? That's pretty good, actually.
Thank you.
Bioluminescent. The human body emits a glow. The human body emits a light.
I gotta tell you, Ryan, I've been in the dirt going to sleep many a time, minus my nightlight, and I have never once glowed blue.
Here is gold.
Do it again.
Glowed blue. Glowed blue. Never. I don't want to do it again, Tyler.
You're my boy, Blue.
Wasn't that a Mountain Dew? Glowed blue?
A Code Blue, I think. Or no, that's Code Red.
There it is.
We're gonna have to cut that.
It is. Oh, we're definitely getting rid of that. None of it was funny.
I was going to say.
Just us falling over the same rake over and over again.
Start the brand new sentence clear.
All right, clear it out. Clear out the bad juju. All right. It is just a light that is too weak for our pathetic human eyes. Our eyes are not built to be strong enough to detect it. It's just another thing that, and it almost goes into that idea of, and as the show evolves and we start kind of talking about different stuff, the idea of the science of kook stuff. You and I talking about sage and how it actually has cleansing properties, how mantras actually do change the thought canals in your gray matter in your mind. These things are real. What if your aura is actually real? What if that's a real thing?
Very well could be. The more we talk about these things, and I don't mean just you and I.
Life is fake, am I right?
Wow, you really did a 180
Life is
there.
fake. Nothing's real.
You had me in the first half, I'm not going to lie. Yeah, and that's the thing. The more we discuss this as a culture, as a society, as a species, we continuously move the line as in what constitutes kookiness and what is just fact that we know, and it's constantly being pushed.
This idiot thinks the sun is at the middle of the universe.
Exactly.
Kill him. Let's do the show.